of the ocean. The Philippine Deep is so deep that if you have earthquakes down below, it takes so much energy in order to convert it into a wind.
Wow. In case you're wondering what is going on here, mga kagalangan, mga ano, mga ipamilya natin sa ating palibutan, you're listening to Lamdag at Tops.
And Siargao.
And to our online at Tops Media Center on YouTube, on Facebook, and on our official website, Tops Media Center. Please join us for a conversation. Malinaw po, post ang sa inyong mga pangutana, I'm actually broadcasting live from another location. I'm going to be live to this right here, right smack in the middle of the 28 Siargao. We are actually serving one which is 5,000 certified. That means 4 points with all. That means more country are participating. We have most of the Latin countries looking out against our local heroes here in Siargao. And I have with me our guest question here. You want to call it that guest month? Yes, sir. Hi, wala lang yung Sir Mimo here. Yeah. Hi, good afternoon.
Hapon.
Usually we discuss I spent a friend 2 weeks here in Siargao to the next 2 hours, I guess. One of the things he shared during his experience during the time, you know, let's say also some classes. There's one thing you mentioned about during most of the mentioned the word virgin wing out of it because what it is when you first land mass here in the Philippines was the first land mass in
Yeah.
Is there a factor why on wing is there a reason why he it's a virgin wing?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, ang hangin gikan sa Pacific Ocean. Wala pa to kay igo o landfall. So, wala pa nahilabtan. So, virgin pa. That's the reason why they call it virgin moon. You know, the moment it hits
Leyte, for instance, you know, it breaks down a little bit, slows down a little bit. Anything with mountains that kind of break down the wind or break up the typhoon. So after it hits land mass, typhoons dissipate. So it becomes less and less unless you have open ocean again where it can build up. So since naon nag-igo ang Siargao, virgin pa to kay wa pa nahilabtan sa mga bukid.
So kana dayang maigo og land dayang nga weather system di ay magahinay day na Mimo?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
That's right, sakto.
Ngano man sa may mahitabo sa wind conditions or sa typhoon, a weather system. Nganong magahinay man? Unsa man din ang weather condition daw? What does that when you say a weather system, a weather condition, na padung nga bagyo, a tropical depression, whatever. Unsa man na siya niya nganong muhinay man na siya kung maigo og yuta?
Well, natural flow, no? Ang kanang hangin, well, you have, there are many factors that are involved. You have a difference in temperature, and one area becomes lower pressure, and then you start cycling. You start creating a cyclone. Manang itawag siya cyclone or hurricane. Dini sa ato, typhoon kay ininsik man na typhoon, ako nga hangin. That's what typhoon means. Kunya, inikaigo sa mga bukid, na may nipugong. So it's like, mura nakasaluyo sa coral nga semento, di sa ka maigo sa hangin, di ba? So ang mga buntod, lapinag ka ng tagas kaayo, mabungkag na ang hangin, so dili na siya full force. Open ocean, walay boundary, walay kapugong, walay nagpahinay. So physical force or physical barriers that slow down the wind.
Wow. In case you're wondering what is going on and what you're listening to, mga kaigalaan, this is Tops Media Center's Lamdag at Tops with Mimo, Osmena, na amoy mga pangutana. Sir Mimo, or maybe Kuya Magic diha, tanaw lang diha kung may pangutana sa atong
Yeah, so far wala
YouTube
pa.
Tops Media Center.
You know what's a relevant topic? Once upon a time, windsurfing was popular here. In fact, I started windsurfing way back in the 70s.
Oh. So you're into windsurfing, Mimo?
Windsurfing, yeah. Yeah, I was
How is it different with your regular surfing?
not regular surfing, windsurfing kay gagmay
So how's
mga
that
mabawd. Well, windsurfing you basically have a sail on top of the surfboard. Yeah, gagmay
Okay.
mga bawd din sa Cebu so mas ganahan og windsurfing kay mas sayon buhaton because you're holding this gakupot ka sa sail ya moy ang gabira nimo ang hangin dili ang bawd. And our favorite
You know
time to
what?
windsurf was typhoon. That's the best time to windsurf because you have super winds.
Oh.
And I think that's the reason why they're holding the surfing cup usually on October, September, because those are the months that go out.
Correct, correct.
Typhoon months, as they call it.
Pero naghisgot sa sila Mimo nga nanguntahan ako sa mga surfers dili ba, especially those who are part of the World Surfing League ba naghisgot sila nga kana ko nung kanang bagyo sa kuno sobra sa kuno kusog kuno mabungkag sa kuno ang wave so dili sa kuno maayo. Kanang it has to be like this murag like a kind of Goldilocks zone ba nga. Kaning sakto ra gyud ang hangin nga pakahimo og dagko ang waves for dili sa mabungkag. What do they
because-
mean by that?
Yeah, sobra nakakusog ang hangin nga mapalid na ang bawd. So ni kapalid sa bawd muhinay na siya. So it becomes choppy rather than big. So you want the energy to come from the water, not from the air. So ang sog mo na siya ay makadagyod sa mga dagkong bawd. So why hangin pero kusog ang sog mas mayo na para sa surfing kung dako gyapon ang bawd. So dili ang dito sa taas dili na mapalid sa hangin dili na labi na og kanang mo kontra. Kaya usually if there's a typhoon out in the Pacific Ocean ang hangin padung sa gawas. Huyopon na gikan dinhi sa well, in this case sa west padung sa east kay ang mga typhoon gikan sa east. So og walay hangin pero kusog ang bawd ini kaigo sa bawd sa kantil musaka na siya nya mo porma nagdagkong bawd.
Wow, very interesting indeed. Mga kagalaan, once again, you're listening to Mimo Osmena, the voice of Mimo Osmena. Of course, I am Jiggy Juice. Right beside me is
Jason Morada.
and we're doing Lamdag at Tops. Kung na mo yung mga pangutana, Mimo can gladly ask you anything. Na pangutana diri at
Toll fee, the old Mactan
Pwedeng-
Bridge.
is it true that there's a toll free to the old Mactan Bridge before? Nakaabot pa ka na
Yeah.
Mimo nga toll free sa Mactan Bridge po ano?
Yeah, pero mas barato na kontra sa barge. Doon na sa una.
Ano
Toll
sa
fee.
tong tuiga pa kata?
I don't remember. I think 70s man tingali.
Nganong man to siya, nganong naman to toll free. Pareha karon sa CCLX pod nganong naman ni toll free.
Toll
Kung sa may
fee.
pasabot ang magbayad man ta mo agi ta og taytayan.
Tungod kay motoy paagi nga makakuha sila mabalik ang ilang investment sa Taytayan. So mo na practice kani ato karon libre na kay nabayad naman tingali ang bridge.
Okay, murag nakabayad na siguro ang kuan.
Ah.
So mahom
Nabawi
to siya
niya.
kita ang nagbayad sa kuan, nagbayad sa taytayan nga gipahimo nila. Yung unahan ang naghimo, right?
That's correct. Yeah, kuanto siya government. So na may daghang mga PPP, private public partnership or joint venture nga dunay private sector ang magtukod sa highway or sa bridge or unsang facilities. So it's profit based. So nagyapoy income so na-charge like CCLX now that's privately built. So why gasto ang gobyerno sa pagtukod sa bridge? So bawion na si investor ni kabawi na ablihon na libre pero ang maintenance na national government tingali.
Unsa may diferensya na sa atong mga buhis Mimo kay atong buhis maghimo man sa mga daan ug mga taytayan ug mga uban pa, di ba?
That's right.
Ano man nga dili paunlas sa buhis ang ato ang pagbayad sa taytayan. Unsa man ni siya kaning proyektuha wala ni na-appeal sa kuan sa distribution sa access nato?
Depende. Kay og private na siya, kinahanglan mabayran na siya. Kay private man. Ang nagtukod sa bridge laing tao, laing kwarta dili na gikan sa atong buhis. Like CCLX private na siya. So laing tao ang nigasto ana. So kinahanglan makabawi na sila. So magsabot na sila sa national government pilay ilang pwedeng i-charge sa entrance. Parehas na sa terminal fee sa airport kay lain mang private man nagtukod sa bridge. The other argument is that dili tanan ang makabenepisyo ana. So ang gapuyo sa, let's say namo sa Ilocos Sur, ngano mo bayad man mo sa taytayan sa Cebu. So moto'y logic nga ilang gigamit nga ang mga Cebuano may nigamit ana sila mo bayad ang makabawi ang gobyerno niya ang kwarta magamit na sa glain.
So that looks like a very interesting kaning business model, if you want to call it that ba. Somebody, is this a fairly new concept ng PPE?
PPP. Well, private-public partnership. Mo na bagong
Partnership.
name, but
Okay.
it's the same thing
Kaning-
before
It's
it
a
was
relatively new concept or dugay-dugay na ni siya kaning idea ha dugay na ni siya.
dugay na BOT sa una, build, operate, transfer.
Okay.
The next question, ngano wala pa taytayan from Liloan to Santander to Dumaguete? Actually, there's an existing project proposal for a bridge from Dumaguete to Santander, then from Cebu to Bohol, then from Bohol to Leyte. Nanay proposal ana karon, nanay funding na tanan, so they're still working it out. In fact, I'm meeting with the group tomorrow.
Wow, that's a very interesting kaning bridge, right? So this will bridge what islands again?
From Dumaguete to Santander, and then from Cebu City to Mactan to Bohol.
Kana silang mga ruta ha, naman na sila yung mga muagi diha ang mga barko eroplano, right?
Yep.
Ang akong pangutana Mimo ba, I know nga I kind of have an idea ngano nga maayo nang nangitaytayan, pero I guess you can get us into the weeds ba, help us understand more. Unsa man ka importante di ay ang taytayan sa lugar. In this case sa syudad sa Sugbo or sa isla sa Sugbo kay mo cross man siya connect man siya sa Santander to Dumaguete, right? Why is it important for us to have land bridges such as this? Unsa mag-impact na niya?
Basic economics talks about money supply and the velocity of money. Money supply kanang kwarta, papel man na. Ug naa na silam si mong katri, why gamit, why value, ang value ana niya ang papel. Ug gamiton na nato pananglitan na ako'y 100 pesos. Ya, kanang 100 pesos palit ko t-shirt. Katong akong palitan og t-shirt, iyatong gamiton palit og bugas. Katong gipalitan og bugas mo palit og chinelas or sapatos nya. Katong gipalitan og sapatos. So the money multiplies by its velocity. So the faster you can move that 100 pesos, the better our economy becomes. So muna importante nga ng mga farm to market roads, kamandalan kay og kaniadto gikan sa mag-uuma pila ka semana hantod mo abot sa syudad, so ipit ang kwarta, dugay na siya ang productivity, no? So with transportation you can move things faster and the economy moves faster. So it's the same nga ug mosakay kag sakyanan gikan sa Santander padung sa Cebu, pila na lang na ka oras nga moabot na ka sa Cebu, nya abot ka syudad. How many hours do you save? How many times can that 100 pesos be used in that one day? So it boosts the economy. So you have to compute. Actually, na siya, bulhaton na siya feasibility study. Ug maghimo silang taytayan padung ining mga isla. Unsay makuha nato sa ekonomiya. Unsa kakusog sa pagdagan sa kwarta. Although money is only a medium of exchange, we're talking about goods and services, no? Ug kanang turista ka karon moadto kag Bohol, tunga sa adlaw ang imong kinahanglan aron moadto ka sa ferry terminal, parking pa ka or pahatod ka sa ferry terminal, palit pa kag ticket, linya ka pa, line up nya, sakay sa barko kano sa Amoralga nya, ang distansya 2 ka oras abot nimo dito. So og imo nang tangtangon nya 30 minutos na lang kay ang Bohol is only 30 minutes actually if you're driving at about 60 kilometers per hour. Makaadto ka sa buntag, balik ka sa gabi. So you imagine the flow of people going there, how much contribution to the economy. But they have to compute that. They have to look at the study. Kana why mo gamit sa taytayan? Unsay tuyo sa taytayan? Dili siya makatabang sa
Ano
atong
formula Mimo nga kaning Kano sa man ta mag-build og taytayan kay kung mo nang storya kung barato ra maghimog taytayan, himuan na tog taytayan tanan, right? So
Yeah.
ang pangutana na Mimo na kay idea unsay competition na niya nganong when do you decide to finally build a bridge?
Well, let me give you a different example. Let's talk about the old Mactan Bridge.
Okay,
During
okay.
Typhoon Ruping, during the time of my dad, naigo man tog barko, so na-damage to siya. So nag-meeting sila sa presidente, ang Department of Public Works, unya, ingon to Public Works nga, amo pa ng studyohon, unya, mag-budget ta, and it will take 2 years nga maayo ng bridge niya, morning budget, barato ra. And my dad's argument was, pila ka billion ka pesos ang mulabang diha gikan sa export processing zone padung sa port. Pila ka billion ang mawa ug i-delay na nato 2 years. So bisag doblehon nato ang cost basta mahuman na siya usa ka semana, makalabang na ang ekonomiya, mabawi nato pila ka billion nga mawa unta og ato nang i-delay og 2 years. So that's a clear example where it justifies to spend more money to get it done quickly. Mo na problema sa atong nasod. It's the primary problem is lack of execution, getting things done as quickly as possible. Take action, political will, get it done. So when you're looking at the economies of Bohol, right now, Cebu is so far ahead of Bohol. How can Bohol catch up to Cebu? Well, first they put the international airports on. Humanang usa. 4 pillars man na, no? Ang 4 pillars for economic boost is power. So kinahanglan kag power supply. Wa kay kuryente, wa kay planta, power plant. Dili ka katukod og mga negosyo kay wa kuryente. Kaduha tubig. Of course karon nahutan na tubig kay daghan na kay mga tao sa Cebu nya kuwang na ang tubig. Gato sa ubang mga lugar, daghan silang tubig pero dili tanan ang requirement. Ang third is communication. So karon nanatay internet. But sa tanang mga lugar, daghang mga lugar nga wa pay internet. Ikaupat ang transportation. So mo na siya. So og doon na kay factory sa Bohol, unsaon nimo pagpada si mong produkto ug kana high value na siya padani mo aeroplano na sila international airport. So pwede na siya. So usa na sa mga posibilidad. Pero mangita pa sila ang yuta dito barato pa man compared to Cebu City, no? So og nanay taytayan daghan ang mutukod dito kay dali ra man ipada ang inyong produkto by truck. Mas dali ang truck. In the old days, they used trains, but old trains are not efficient. The new trains probably are. Yeah, dagat man so taytayan, good. Kay barko, hinay man kay barko. So those are all the factors and you need the studies done.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, kung nahimbog mo sa inyong ipaminaw, naminaw mo ni, this is the voice of Mimo Osmena. Kung nagtanaw mo sa amo ang YouTube, of course, makakibawar mo kinsa ni sila, ang kini mga tinguga, kapos si Mimo Osmena itong ganiha. Ako si Jiggy Juice, one of the co-hosts of Mimo Osmena, together with my good friend here, Jason Murata. And I'm actually broadcasting here live from the 28th Siargao International Surfing Cup while I'm talking to you guys in Cebu and to Mimo Osmena and everyone listening to this question and answer radio show in 105.1 TMC. Daghang salamat sa inyong pagpaminaw diya sa mga tagsa-tagsa ninyo ka mga radio sets sa atong mga car stereos, car radios, atong naminaw sa ilang mga balay. Daghang salamat, sir. Daghang salamat, ma'am. Kung namoy mga pangutana, i-text lang, i-message ba sa YouTube or i-message ba ninyo sa Messenger na mo sa Facebook Tops Media Center. Na kay pangutana, Jason, go ahead.
Actually, Sir Mimo, one of the, you mentioned earlier the different pillars, no? Although there can be no perfect formula for governance. Bohol, for instance, Sir Mimo, they have very nice roads. Nagpatigan, lipigon ang Cebu going to other towns. Lipigon ang Cebu in terms of hinapon sa daan. But there's that one thing lagi mo nga they or kuwang pagid sa investors, I guess, or I don't know, several factors. Would you say making another bridge connecting Cebu to Bohol, would you say it will totally change everything for Bohol? What can you say about that?
It would make a significant difference, but there's still major factors. It's leadership. it's about putting a team together to go out there and market and provide them with a presentation about having the infrastructure in place to encourage businesses to come in. There's so many ways to do that. I can't talk politics on the radio show, so let me just try to simplify it. But basically, if you create certain legislation that encourages or that incentivizes people to set up in the provincial areas rather than in major towns, maybe some taxes. I mean, DTI used to have that. If you bring in new technology, you're exempted for X number of years. We had special economic zones that kind of started the boom going here in Cebu and elsewhere in the country, where you had special zones, where you had special privileges if you placed investments there. Things like this can be done all over the country. But you have to have the infrastructure. Nindot kay mugdahan pero dili kagawa sa imong produkto, so it's local. You've got to be able to bring it outside. So you either put a bridge or you improve. Well, the shipping is still. Maybe you need a major container port. Kay dili kay ordinaryong port lang nga magbutang ka sa Roro, hinay ra kayo kanang container port nga ilang gikan sa Bohol diretso na sa Singapore or diretso na dito sa mga feeder. Or I mean, if somebody really identifies the right location in Bohol, invest in a transshipment point like Singapore. Singapore's become a transshipment point. Bohol, especially not the east-facing part of Bohol, but the west-facing part of Bohol, which is protected from typhoons. Kaya gahiskot mata itong mga bukid nga protekta. If you have a place where you can have a deep channel so big container ships can come in, drop off their containers and transfer to others for feeders, then you've got a potential there. So it's about the leadership. I mean, private sector can do it, but it's too big for private sectors. It's got to be done. It's got to be done through government, like a PPP sort of project. I mean, I remember there was a time they were trying to convert Cebu into a transshipment point. So there was a team who went to Hong Kong to try to convince the big conglomerates there to come and set up a transshipment point here in Cebu, a point where it could be a feeder distribution point. But the problem is when they were making the presentation in Hong Kong is when they had a revolution attempt here in the Philippines. So canceled.
Wow. You know what? There is such a thing as building land bridges, right? That boosts the economy of the people around the islands that it connects to. But there's also an even bigger bridge that is connecting the world now, and that is the internet. Murag ingon sila nga ang kalibutan kuno kay flat na. The world is flat. So lain po na nga kasi sa taytayan. Sa tibok kalibutan na siya nag-connectar. Akong pangutanan nimo dia Sir Mimo is this kaning taytayan nga atong gisgutan nga land bridges, sure maka-boost na sa economy. How about the bridges on the air, kanang ginatawag na tong internet, the information superhighway? How does that affect the economy of a nation, of the world actually?
You can't send food over the internet. So there are certain things that you still can't do on the internet. Certain services, yes, service industry. That's changing the whole dynamics. I mean, the whole world has changed as far as services and online information transfer. But physical productivity, physical products cannot be transferred through internet unless we invent the technology they use in Star Trek where you beam products across, then that will change everything. But right now, wag yun tayo choice. Kinanlan, parko, gihapon, sakyanan, gihapon, kayang kining atong mga produkto, atong pagkaon, bisag na ata din nindot kayong internet, may kay tag signal, we can do our banking online, you can do everything online, but then when you order Grab for your panioto, mo gamit gihapon sa daan.
Pero mo na siya Mimo nga kanang mga ekonomiya, mga nasod nga ready sa digital technology, digital economy, mo sila makatake advantage. Sila for example, kanang entertainment industry, kanang Hollywood, kanang Bollywood, kanang Korea, di ba?
Yeah.
Kaning ilang mga produkto, they're basically digital products, right? Kanang mga kanta, kanang mga salida sa sine, mga movies and all of that stuff, Netflix.
Yes.
So, ito lang mga nasura nga ready sila for the digital economy, mo na sila makatake advantage. Sakto ba, Mimo?
That's correct. we have that opportunity. I mean, one of the things that was discussed, we're talking about something that was already discussed 20 years ago, even more. Nga, ang Pilipinas, raw material country. Ngano raw material man ta, ngano di man ta ka-improve sa atong productivity and do the value-added services here and start manufacturing here. I say, why even go through the manufacturing? Let's leapfrog and go straight to services. And we are. We're doing probably a big portion of Cebu's economy is BPO. BPO is using the internet to be able to do certain services. But there's still a big percentage of our economy that relies on physical products. Yeah, diha gyapon tama problema. These things
Kani
can't be
nga
solved.
kung kuyo mo si Jason Morata naman ni siya gatrabaho sa call center atong niatong una niya karon murag he's basically just working online. He works in the hotel and restaurant industry. Pero Jason, nakay pangutana ni Mimo aning butanga I think this is right up your alley, right?
I think one of the most important factors also to consider, Jiggy, I'd like to get the thoughts of Sir Mimo regarding, we have the internet, we have the infrastructure, but manpower.
That's right.
There are, sure, we get hundreds and hundreds of graduates every year, but there is that problem of kanang dili bitaw siya, how do you call this? Dili aligned ang ilahang capabilities when it comes to the industry that they are will be part of. So they still need training, retraining, something like that. So what do you think should we do so that we can keep up with, we get good graduates every year? So what do you think I don't know if there's a solution to that. There is that disparity when it comes to talent.
Yeah, well, you're talking about skills, certain skills for certain. It's, again, basic economic supply and demand. If there's a high demand and low supply, mutaas ang ilang sweldo. Okay, no choice. Mga tao, kinahanglan og trabahante, white trabahante, compete sila sa mga tao. The problem is too much supply, not enough demand. Everybody has the wrong idea as to what things, everybody wants to, we should be a nurse or mo trabaho tas gawas. So you have an excess of nursing graduates. My understanding before nakastorya ko sa mga tao nga in that industry, it was 8-1 for every 8 graduate nurses usaray makatrabaho sa nurse. So they're in the wrong industry. So there should be a concerted effort as far as whether from the private sector or from the government is concerned to identify what the demands are and to focus energy into that, focus resources into that area. I guess it's really basic. Somebody has to take the lead. Somebody has to take the lead.
Very interesting. Mga kagalaning case na hibong mo sa inyong ipaminaw, naminaw mo sa Lamdag with Mimo Osmena. Of course, Mimo Osmena is live in the TMC 105.1 studios, all the way up there, 2,000 feet closer to heaven at tops.
We got some good news, Jiggy.
What?
We got some good news.
What's the good news, man?
We don't have a 40-minute limit anymore.
Oh yeah! Woo-hoo! I can talk forever then. I'm brought here live from General Luna, Cloud9 in Siargao. My name is Jiggy Juice. Right beside me is Jason Morata. He's a digital nomad. You know what? I'm curious, Mimo, but I am actually talking to you. Both of us are talking in front of the sun. We're burning to a crisp right now. Akong pangutana, Mimo ba? Unsa man nga maka-cancer man ang sun, unsa may tabo sa imong panit yay? Anong maka-cause man skin cancer? And why do we need to wear sunblock and all of that stuff? What's my mechanism sa sun? Anong mahimo mag-cancer?
I think it's back to those avocados, right? The avocados is a natural sunscreen. I think you should get that out, Jiggy.
Okay, the sun radiates all types of radiation, all kinds of frequencies, including our radio show right now is electromagnetic radiation coming out of our tower and going through the internet through different type of wavelength. The dangerous one is what they call the ultraviolet, and infrared also. And there are other particles that are hitting your skin. And what happens is kining mga particles gagmay kay ni siya musod ni siya maigo ang atom dito mabungkag dito so your DNA will start to mutate, and when you mutate cells, they can become cancer cells. Not all of them, but all you need is one, and this becomes 2, and becomes 4, and becomes 6, 10. I mean, 8, and 30, 16, and 32, and then multiply na siya. So that's the cause. It's the radiation that's hitting your skin. So if you can block the radiation, if you can have glass that's opaque in the frequency of the radiation, then you can stay under the sun the whole day. Na may bildong
So
ngayon
kana po imong gamiton para pag-block sa imong skin kana gitawag lag sunblock, di ba?
Yeah,
Sunblock pa in fact I have a little bit of sunblock on me right now. Kanang mga numero bang SPF?
Yeah, I was
Kasi
gonna
pasabot ng
tell you that.
SPF, how
Sun
do you choose unsa nga sunblock na numero imong piliyon?
sun protection factor. Muna ipasabot sa SPF. So, upananglitan, nakasilam sa init. After 5 minutes, wala na, sunog ka na. So, mugamit kag sun protection factor nga 10, makalingkod kag 50 minutes. So, labing maayo ang pinakataas. Ug doon na kay sun protection factor 1.
Minutos din, right? Ang numero minutos din na sir.
Huh? Yeah. Minutes na.
The number on the
No,
beside the SPF.
it's the multiplying
minutes.
factor. It's the multiplying
Is that what
factor.
it is?
Multiply factor.
What?
So,
I didn't
120 times. O ka nang nindot kag panit nga pugong ka or antos ka sa init for 10 minutes niya butangan ni mo 120 SPF, you can stay 1,200 minutes to have the same effect. But you still have the same risk after 120 minutes nga makanser gyapon ka. O masunog gyapon ka.
In case you're wondering what is happening, mga kaigalaan, you're listening to 105.1 TMC's Lamdag with Mimo Osmena.
And if you want to see what's
Broadcasting
actually
live
happening, you could watch our YouTube because Jiggy's currently cleaning his sunglasses.
We have more.
What's he doing? What?
So Jiggy's cleaning his sunglasses right now.
Yeah, more questions from
Your sunglasses. It's pretty distracted actually.
Daghan kayo maglakaw-lakaw diri mga macho kay tanan ba ug mga gwapa kayo ma-distracted ko gamay diri Mimo. O Kuya Magic pasayloan mi usaya mga mata mga meander masag muramig malibat.
the
Anyway, so kanang numero de sa pasabutan na murag
multiply
sun protection
effect.
factor. It's also the number of minutes you're allowed to stay sun.
No, it's a
Is that what you're
multiplier.
trying to say, Mims?
No, it's a multiplier. So mo 10 times what you can stand. So kanang masunog na kag 1 minute, butang ni mug 10 minutes ra. Sunog gyapon. It's a multiplier.
So akong pangutana ang sunod as a follow-up question, ngano man na ginaingon man na nila nga na kana kuno mga sunblock kuno toxic kuno na kuno sa kadagatan kuno tinuod na Mimo niya paghuman unsa may buhaton nako nga kung ganahan ko mag sunblock di ko ganahan nga I don't want to destroy the water, the life in the water. Unsa may buhaton nako nga di man day pwede mag sunblock di ay?
Can you wear skin suit? Are you wearing a skin suit? Naman ay.
But, how about my face? Ang butang sa skin suit.
No. Pag sulubog snorkel. And then when you finish na kay marka si mong now.
So what is it about sunblock day nga toxic man din na day?
Well, depends on the
Sada- sada-
chemicals. Depends on na may waterproof nga sunblock so dili na siya matangtang og dali. So but I don't know. That's what they say. We don't know which sunblock is this, what chemicals are in what particular sunblock you're using. So I mean the best sunblock is musulob kag semento. So di gyud ka masunog, di gyud ka
So how would you recommend what would you recommend us to do kung magpili mi og sunblock? Mimo unsa man ni siya
the highest.
Unsa imong pilion unsa kainita unsa man?
The higher the sunblock, the better. Yeah, magpadlandog sad. You know what the disadvantage to white sand beach is? Double burn.
Oh, di ba?
Double burn. Kaya masunog ka sa adlaw, masunog ka sa bus, kay puti mo untol ang radiation. So double burn na siya.
You're getting burned here.
kay galaan, kung na may pangapangutana, just shoot it up
There's more
sa
questions.
YouTube.
More questions. They're asking about the J.R. Doding Espinosa. Kanandaghan ko ng NGCP nga towers. That means they're going to add power lines. So, mo na ito bag. Yes, sakto siya. Mo add na silang power lines. Second, next question is, ang South Expressway ko no, moagi ba na sa Busay to Danao? That's the original plan was the transaxial highway from Santander to Bantayan, and hopefully one day that gets done. Ang sunod, next question is Skylab falling. Humana na, it fell already a long time ago. It's gone.
Do you think we'll see a bridge from Cebu to Siargao?
Wala napagod na midri, mobalhin lang mi gamay ha, kadiyot lang kaya. Nangapagod na midri bay.
Why is FM megahertz and why is AM kilohertz? Actually, wa na siya ilabot ang megahertz o frequency sa type of modulation. FM is frequency modulation, AM is amplitude modulation. Ang megahertz, ang cycle na siya sa electromagnetic wave. So, ang AM, musakay na siya sa baud, mura na siya surfer. Ang FM frequency na siya, musakay na siya sa frequency itself. So, mugamit sila sa frequency sa bagong sistema kay mas accurate na siya. So, mas nindot ang tingog. Di pareha sa AM. Parehas ko sa surfer, mag-surfing ka. Mag-usab-usab ang baud. So, sahid, mulain ang tingog. Karon, wala na may kaso kay digital naman tanan. It's all digital, so it doesn't matter what system you use. The sound should come out the same.
Mga kaigalaan, in case you're wondering what is happening, right now you're listening to 105.1 TMC, the most Cebu music, the most Cebu conversations. Of course, ang ato ang igsuon sa kahanginan, si Mimo Osmena is live on the air sa Lamdag, sa inyong mga tagsa-tagsa ka mga radio sets. Also live on YouTube at Tops Media Center, on our website, topsmediacenter.com. Palihog, if namoy mga pangutana, please shoot it up. Just join us in our conversations here on 105.1 TMC. Tops Media Center ang pangan sa among YouTube channel. That's Tops Media Center. Mimo, nakoy pangutana nga lain ba regarding bitaw kaning di ba kanang tropical island? Ang makita ginim kadaghanan is kanang coconuts, right? Sa uban po nga mga lugar, lain po nga klase nga mga kaning mga trees, right? Ako pangutana ba is nganong inana man na siya? Nganong coconut man gyud ang naa sa mga tropical islands nga wala sa ubang nga lugar. Kaning unsa man dining tanuma di ay kaning init ra gyud ni iyang ganahan, or kung ibutang na nimo, let's say for example snow, yang nganong wa man siya naka-adapt sa kainit or wa man siya naka-adapt sa katugnaw, ngano man siya magyud nga o kani may yung klase nga tanuman nitubo aning lugar dili ba mo naman ni adaptive skills ang life nga mangita sila paagi nga mabuhi sila maski usang kondisyones, ngano man nga ang ato ang mga kakahuyan nga makita nato sa paligiran sa tropical islands such as the Philippines is mostly coconuts. Why not other plants?
Well, you have other plants. We just recognize the coconut. I mean, look at the marshes here. Diba kanang mangrove. Taga magkay mangrove, diba? Tubo pa ganin is too big. So, you said it. You're right. It's coconut is a tropical plant, tropical tree. It will grow in tropical areas. So if you have tropical islands, dako kay chance nga ang lubi or coconut mutubo. Ngadto sa ubang mga lugar wa pa na siya maanad. But then your other statement is also correct. Won't they adapt? Unless, yes, they will adapt, but it's a matter of time. We have to wait maybe 10 million years and then you'll see coconuts in the snow.
So, naman ko inadunggan ko nga kanang for example kanang kato bitaw nga unsa kay nang buwak sa Japan gali nga kaning sikat kay tanan nga you go Korea pa na siya nga you have to go to Korea or sa Japan as the kind of
Flowers.
Kanang, flowers. What kind of flowers are there again in Japan kato?
Cherry blossom?
Cherry
Sakto
blossoms,
lang.
yeah. Nakinumdum ko nga as a gift to the United States murag gitagaan na sila og cherry blossoms. So niya daghan na sa kay cherry blossom sa Amerika karon. So kanang inana ba kanang inter-island,
Well, it's
transnational
species invasion. That's
how does that work? What is the mechanism behind that? Aside from the fact nga dad-o na to ang ganing seedlings sa kalugar from one place to another. Kanang dili endemic bag. Yang anong mabuhi man na sila ng lugar nga dili man sila familiar na nga kondisyones.
well, the conditions are the same. They have to find it. Otherwise, they have to put it in a greenhouse. Na may coconut sa UK, pero nasod sa greenhouse.
Okay.
So you have to adapt the environment for the tree. And Department of Natural Resources, DNR, discourage the planting of non-endemic trees because you have invasive species that can kill off and create problems. There are some countries that are so strict, they won't even let you import products that are made of those plants. Like you cannot bring any form of bamboo into Australia. Takpon ka. Nagibawal na siya kay mag-consider na siya invasive species.
Naghisgot ka og kaning mga sikto ba nga mga lessons and rules na kinumdum ko murag sa Gimaras mas sa Palawan pud nakalimot ako sa lugar ha pero kinumdum ko nga dili ta padanog prutas di ka padanog mangga to cross a certain border ano man unsa may naa sa prutas nganong makaunsam ni naday ko magdakog prutas diri sa akong lugar.
Well, fruits carry insects, and the insect may be a species that is invasive and can destroy the natural agriculture. So Australia is very strict also. You cannot bring any live products. No.
Di kay ko kasabutan na Mimo da maybe you can expound on that. Kay
Okay.
kung magdakog prutas sa usa ka lugar, magunsa nganong kapiyasan kuan nag prutas sa akong gida lima ra ka buk. For example, saging akaning mansanas sa akong gida pag unsaon man niya pag destroy sa environment. Can you tell us the mechanism nga
Well,
nganong makadakog man na?
I'll give you one example that's exactly the same. Doon ay natakdan og COVID-19 dito sa China. Niabot din his Pilipinas. Bisag usara ka buk tao, nataklan tanan kay. Okay. Pagsugod ato, usara man. Ang usa na himog 5, ang 5 na himog 50. Hantod nga, pila ka buk taon namatay tungod ato. So, gi-close na ato tanang border. Why makasod sa atong nasod? Dili kasod ang kagaw. Wala ay maapektuhan na. So, mo na siya, magdakag mangga, pananglitan niya, na aphids or na fungus or something niya matakdan ng ilang mga tanom dito niya wa sila natural immunity. An example to that is cacao. Dunay fungus nga nisod nga hapit na hurot tanang mga cacao. There's a possibility nga wa na chocolate ang tibuok kalibutan tungod ana. So they have to block the borders. That's why here we had katong mga curfew, mga quarantine nga dili kaso, dili kagawas, mao ra gyapon na siya. Pero naas prutas dili sa tao. Kay mas kuyaw nang sa tao. Pero prutas mao sa gyapon makasud na panalitan dunay bag-ong kagaw nga makapatay og mais dito sa South America niya magdakag mais usara ka bok pag abot dinhi natakda ng mais dinhi mo spread na siya horot ang mais Cebuan ay mais.
Kuyawan isa?
Yeah. Labi na ka nang
we
wa
don't
mana.
really take it seriously because we don't really know. Naanabay pangitabo sa kalibutan Mimo nga ma-point out na mo nimo in the history nga
Yeah.
in history nga kaning usa ka butang sama niya nga naay nagdaog prutas sa usa ka lugar niya nadaot ang mga plants,
Grapes.
animals.
Ang
Ano
tanang
sa manila po?
I don't remember the date. I can research it. But ang tanang grapes sa Europe namatay because somebody brought a grape cutting from the US na resistant atong klase nga kagaw. Pag-abot sa Europe, patay tanang mga ubas sa Europe. So ang ilang gibuhat, nagdana lang sila tanom nga gikan sa US kay it's root rot no so nalata ang ilang mga ugat. So kada sila gikan sa US moy ilang gitanom din niya gisumpayan na lang nila sa ilang natural products mo nang nabuhi ang grape industry kay wa pa to horot wa na gyud why bino. Chocolate almost also it was a big problem here in Mindanao. I don't know if they've resolved it or how they resolved it but kaya ang chocolate gikan sa South America so makasud ang kagaw niya wa maana mga tanom din hindi sila makaaway wa sa ilang immune system horot tanan. So it's just as bad. Tao sad doon ay kagaw well ang nabuhi sa COVID ang kanang immune so swerte ta.
Wow. Kuyawas na.
Yeah, it's
If
bad.
you're wondering, higalan sa inyong paminaw, sa inyong gitanaw, sa inyong mga taksa-taksa ka mga cellphones, sa inyong mga radio sets, naminaw mo sa 105.1 TMC, Tops Media Center, Ang atong programa karong hapuna is Lamdag with Mimo Osmena. And I am Jiggy Juice. Right beside me is Jason Morata. Kami, ang duha diri nag-broadcast me from Siargao, from General Luna Cloud 9. We are right smack in the middle of the 28th Siargao International Surfing Cup, which is QS 5000 certified. Ang pasabot ni ani nga there's more money at stake and more points at stake. So a lot of the countries from the Asia Pacific are here to compete, to battle it out against all of the surfing heroes of Siargao. So this is very, very, very exciting here, indeed, especially if you're a surfing fan. And of course, Mimo, nakasuway na magkakari sa Siargao, Mims. Unya, pagkuman, unsa may experience rin, nakasurf baga sa kadiri?
No, I haven't been there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe now's the time to
No, I'm
perhaps try.
actually I'm scheduled to go there for other purposes. My brother's always there. In fact, he's buying property and building a house.
Wow, nice.
Ano yung barangay
nice.
diha nga Osmena? Barangay
Yes,
Osmena.
Yes,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Palit siya yuta diha, magtukod siya balay diha.
Going
Ganahan
to Pilar. Barangay
Wow, there's an Osmena. Okay, all right. Nana mo yung negosyo diri, Mimo, wala pa ni Abli.
Amot sa akong mangod.
Anyway, we're just enjoying the view here, the view, the sea view, the view of the sand, and the beautiful people on it as well. Sa atong lugar karon, behind us we have kanina earlier katong init pa kayo, daghang kayo nag-sunbathing. I'm curious ba, Mims ba, kanang sunbathing ba, hisgot pa tag cancer kaniya, di ba? Skin cancer ba, unsa man ni siya, ngano maning ang mga puti ganahan mo itom niya, mga itom ganahan mo puti, unsa man what is it about the color of your skin nga ganahan makagawa nimo?
Actually, it's not the color of the skin. It's kanang wa nimo.
So ganahan kagawa nimo. So
Yeah, you want something unique, di ba? So kitang tanan
Okay.
dark skin. Mo ato kag ngayon sila ako kuno puti, pero mo ato kog Amerika mo dili ko puti, considered colored ko. So makakita sila nga dili na as ila.
Okay. Lain sa akong pangutana ba, related na ng butanga bitaw Mims kanang panit, the color sa panit. Ang utana ko ba, I'm sure Jason can and most of you guys can understand my question and where it comes from. Nakabantay ka nga ang mga taste sa mga Europeans ba, mga Caucasians ba. Murag lahi sa ilang concept of beauty ba, kadaghanan sa mga kuyog sa mga afam dere. Matud pa ni Jason, mga afam ko no. Lain ilang concept of beauty ba. Unsa man na where does the concept of beauty come from? Yang anong lain mo ta og taste sa ato ang what we consider as beautiful.
Now, you said it. We all have different taste. Ang kanang nangitag dark skin, na sila din kay nangita sila dark skin. Dili sila mo adto dito sa Iceland kay mangita sila dark skin. Why dark skin dito? Tama na. So, depende na sa imong needs. Sometimes you like mas ganahan kag parat. Nay tao nga ganahan tamis ang pagkaon. Nay tao nga di ganahan tamis. That's just individual choice. It's too complex.
It's nakipangutana na Jason, go ahead.
I'm good.
And mga kaigalaan, in case you're wondering what is happening, you're listening to Lamdag with Mimo Osmena. Naamoy mga pangutana diha, post lang sa ato ang kaning YouTube. Tops Media Center is bringing seeds to the
Yes.
United States illegal. Naipangutana diri sa YouTube. Mimo, is it illegal to bring seeds to the United States?
Yeah, absolutely. Wa kay permit. Kinahanglan kag permit na ipaagi. Dunay paagi. Pero illegal na siya ug wala ka mokuha sa permit. Even the Philippines, technically that's also the law here. You cannot just bring labi na karon ka ng mga products nga gikan sa pork. Bawal man na din because they're afraid of the African swine flu.
So dili ko kasabot na Mimo kanang illegal magdaog seeds kay makasabot ko kung tanom, di ba? Kaning sa tawag ni buhi nga tanom kun dili kana prutas kay namo ginay makapuyo diya nga organisms or insects, right? Pero kanang liso wa man ay makapuyo ang hugaw diya, wala man
Nagyapon.
makapuyo murag vacuum gali na siya.
Nagyapon.
Nagyapon?
Yeah. And well, that's why maybe ang ilang condition nga naipaagi nga imong buhaton sa mga liso niya, vacuum seal niya, nakay-permit niya, clearance niya, auto-quarantine niya, approval pa nila, posible na siya. Pero kanang magdadalang ka, isod si mong bulsa, madakpan ka na. So, dako kay multa, ug di ka mapriso. Depende sa liso. Na may liso nga illegal yun.
Na curious na kumain na ako utok ba murag grabe na kayo ang ipadungan niya ba. Nagunaon na ako ba nga before the invention of shipping ba, before the invention of transportation, ang atong mode of transmission sa disease kay medyo hinay kay tanan kay wala may a mechanism for which disease to transfer from one place to another, di ba?
Yeah,
So
wala
ako
siya.
panguntahan mo ba if I imagine a world ba nga wala transportation, there's no way to connect with each other, nagya po disease, right?
Yeah, but it's endemic.
Okay.
So you'll have a disease that will wipe out a fraction of humanity in the world, but only in that area. It's happened before. There was a time, a few 100,000 years ago nga mga 20 na lang kabuk tao na bilin, 40 kabuk tao mo na nabilin. Wa pa sila siguro na wipe out to sila kagaw or what. So it's a possibility.
So kung wala pa tayo nagka-invento og transportation, ang atong mga disease endemic ra sa lugar, meaning to say natural na siya sa kanang lugar diha.
Gawas og
So
airborne.
what's that? Airborne lang.
Airborne. Oh, kay mada palit hangin.
So posible gyapon, posible
posible
gyapon
gyapon.
sa
Posible.
isla.
Sa
makapadpad.
kadaghan sa tao sa tibuok kalibutan, dili lang sa transportation. Posible nga dunay kagaw makasakay sa hangin, mada dito, mapalid sa laing nasod niya, daghan kayong tao niya. Wa sila immunity. Kita din sa Pilipinas, naanad matas mga endemic nga disease nga mainom tas tubig, di man ta maunsa na ubang tao mo inom sa atong tubig, sige kalibang kay sila maanad, no? So, yeah, that can happen. I mean, there are some diseases that we catch and we become immune to. But like, I cannot donate blood because I caught hepatitis when I was young, Hepa A.
Wow.
Yeah, you recover from it, but I cannot donate blood. Kaya naa pa na sa akong dugo.
Wow. Amazing. So, the mode of transportation is to the airwaves na. Kay kaning, that's the only way that anything can travel from one place to another. Of course, pwede sa mga langgam, di ba?
Langgam, yeah, bird swine flu kay mo migrate man na sila, magalupad man na sila. Di naman na sila kinala mo sakay kay plano. Pero bisag ka ng mga insect mo, sakay mag-plano, inikabot. Muna, doon ay mga nasod nga, antes nga mo, abli sila sa pultahan, ilan ang spray, antibok, sods, plano.
Nakainomdom ko Mimo ba, one of my favorite comedians, si George Carlin, ingon siya nga, kaning, siya ko no, pagabata ko no niya, sige siya langoy-langoy sa lapo, kung hugaw nga tubig, kaya kana ko nung immune system ko no, kinanglan ko no nag-practice. So akong pangutan, tinuon na Mimo nga kaning kung sa imong pagkabata, kaning lagan kay kastanan, hugawan kay kastanan, does that give you more immunity compared to somebody who lives in a very sheltered life?
Kung dili ka mamatay.
Well, exactly, yeah.
Yeah. That's true. Everybody before didn't care. They didn't have medicine, all that. So, daga namatay. Ang katong nabuhi, immune na to.
So kung dili ka mamatay,
swerte
you will
ka.
grow.
Yeah, then you become stronger. Yeah. So, what doesn't kill you
So,
makes you stronger. Oh. Sakto na.
Okay.
Sakto na. Pero nakita ko posibilidad nga mamatay.
So would you like to take that risk?
That's right.
So pero tinuod gyud nami mo nga kung hugawan ka niya kaning medyo kaning nabuhi ka ikadako nimo o
Mas maanad ka sa mga kagaw. Oh, sakto. Sakto na. That's correct.
is kanang immunization or vaccination ba?
That's
Is that a form of kaning
Exposure.
introducing
Yes.
the
Oh, kanang
bacteria in your system
sakto.
para immune ka?
Sakto. Ang bakuna kanang kaniadto karon lain naman. Pero kaniadto kuha sila sa kagaw niya kanang patyo nila, niya isod na nila si mong dugo. So inig-identify si mong lawas nga mo ni siya ang kagaw morning paagi nga imong patyon patay na daan or weak na daan so maka-develop kag immunity ana so kasunod nga mas isog na buhi pa okay na kay nakaandam na ka. So now it's genetic, RNA changing.
Yung bito sila Jiggy nga katong mga naglaro-laro sa daan atong COVID. Matakdi yung nalisuan sa pangisip ba? Laro-laro lang sa
Katong mga kuan, mga mahog na tinatawag na mga buang sa
mga buang ba o. Diba?
It sounds really
Nalisuan
bad.
sa pangisip.
Nalisuan sa pangisip ko. Naipanguntahan natin si Jer Duding Espinosa Mimo sa atong YouTube channel Tops Media Center on YouTube. Is it true nga naingipon na ang kilat? Lightning has teeth?
No, dagan sa kurinti sa sods punuan. Tungod sa init sa kurinti sa current, di ba? Tungod sa init ana na mapurma dito sod. Rugi ka na sa either sa yuta or sa punuan mismo. Mulanay niya, mupurma na siya nga. Mura siya dili siya kanang ngipon ka pangil, murag pangil ana. But yeah, there's truth to that. There's such they call the lightning teeth, pero dili gyud na ngipon. Tungod na sa init sa kurinti nga dunay malanay dito niya mapurma.
Nakinomdom ko, speak of lightning, Mimo ba? Niadto ko sa barili, dili lang dugay, dili not too long ago, right? Kaning namaligya sila og mushroom ba? Niya nag-ingon sila kana ko ng mushroom ako no mutubo ko na kun ay gikilatan nga kahoy or whatever. Tinuod ng storya or sa gibiilan lang ko to nila.
It's coincidental. When the weather is bad, it's humid, there's rain and lightning, this type of mushroom grows. Tumo na, mga siya, kakilat na siya. But dili tungod sa kilat, tungod sa panahon.
Pero kung walay kilat, di siya mutubo unsa man.
Well, if the conditions are right, mutubo mangyapon. But lightning is not one of the conditions needed to grow the plant.
Interesting. So people in that area, and I thought so until I talked to you today, na akong pagtuo nga kaning mushroom mutubo rin kung nagigilatan. Gabiya, Mimosa, like until now ba kaning such things, but it's difficult to put two and two together, and who will explain them except you, right? This show. And how facts don't change even if the science on the ground has changed.
Yeah.
Gabiya, I mean, daghan pa kay mga butang
Diba
daghan sa kaigsuunan just like us nga murag ignorante pa ta sa
kanang inigkanta niya muuan. Same thing. Ayaw sa kanta kay basig muuan niya.
Nagyabag, di ba?
It's the same. The same thing.
Yeah, akong pangutana nganong mutuo pa man tan yana nga daghan naman kay tag mga ebidensya nga dili na tinuod.
There's no connection. Thing like that. Right?
JIC, number one religion in the Philippines, just in case. Basig niya tinuod, di ba? The easy road. I gotta run shortly. It's past 3.
Okay, sige. Okay. We just got so excited, Mimo, to talk to you, especially in this newfound technology and capability that we have. Daghang salamat diyan, Mimo. I know you're going to be busy traveling around the country. I hope you try to visit Siargao, one of the places I can take around. We have very hospitable people here that can welcome you here. We have our good friends here, Governor or Congressman now, Governor, soon to be Governor Bingo Matugas, and the rest of his family, and everyone here is very hospitable here in Siargao, and we are all witnessing one of the fruits of his hard work here, of course, the 28th Siargao International Surfing Cup. Daghang salamat, Mimo.
Daghang salamat ninyo.
Also be your tour guide.
I will show you around a village called Osmena Village, right?
Yeah. Barangay Osmena.
Barangay Osmena. Okay, broadcasting live here from Siargao for the 28th Siargao International Surfing Cup. It's Jiggy Juice and
Jessen.
Back to you, Mimo, in the studios of 105.1 TMC.
Thank you so much, Jiggy. You take care and see you guys soon. Thank you so much, everybody. You're listening to TMC 105.1. And thank you to all of our listeners as well that were tuned in for the Lamdag here with Mimo Osmena. Don't forget, guys, don't touch that dial. We've got more stuff coming up for you later on today here on 105.1 TMC, the best of us.
Finally, local music has found a home. 105.1 TMC, the best of us.
Powerful.
Welcome